So, they're gonna make a Bad Batch show. Okay. And hello, fellow mutants. Welcome back to another video. This video, I'm going to react to this article about the Bad Batch. Granted that if you guys don't know what the Bad Batch is, it's pretty much like the rogue or defective clones that we got introduced to in the last season of the Clone Wars. And it wasn't a bad story arc. I do enjoy those Bad Batch story arc. And I do enjoy the fact that we get kind of like rogue-ish clones that's kind of still serves the Republic, but not exactly. Like, not in the same way as the other clones have. So, I'm liking that. But a show about them. Okay. So, it says Star Wars The Bad Batch. All new animated series to debut on Disney Plus in 2021. Clone Force 99 from Star Wars The Clone Wars returns. And keep in mind that at the moment, I don't see them lasting more than like 2 seasons, probably. Depending. If this show is just like Resistance, I can't see this show lasting more than 2 seasons. If this show is better than Resistance, I can see this show lasting like 3 seasons. But I'm going to continue. Today, Disney Plus ordered its next animated series from Lucasfilm, Star Wars The Bad Batch. First off the critically acclaimed series finale of Star Wars The Clone Wars. The Disney Plus original series will premiere on the streaming service in 2021, so next year. The series follows the elite and experimental clones of the Bad Batch, first introduced in the Clone Wars, as they find their way in a rapidly changing galaxy in the immediate aftermath of the Clone Wars. Members of the Bad Batch, a unique squad of clones who vary genetically from their brothers in the clone army, each possesses a singular exceptional skill which makes them extraordinarily effective soldiers and a formidable crew. In a post-Clone Wars era, they will take on daring mercenary missions as they struggle to stay afloat and find new purpose. Giving new and existing fans the final chapter of the Star Wars Clone Wars has been our honor at Disney Plus, and we are overjoyed by the global response to the landmark. While the Clone Wars may have come to its conclusion, our partnership with the groundbreaking storytellers and artists at Lucasfilm Animation is only beginning. We are thrilled to bring George Lucas, Dave Filoni's vision to life through the next adventure of the Bad Batch. I do remember hearing that George Lucas thought of the concept of Bad Batch, so probably that's why I said George Lucas on accident the first time around. So the Bad Batch is executive so it doesn't really say much after that section, because it just says who is going to be produced by and the team, which I found it on the Star Wars website if you guys want to check out the article. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Bad Batch was a pretty good episode arc, and like I said, I am a fan of like that rogue-ish type feel to the Clone Troopers. Seeing how this is going to take place like right after the Clone Wars, it is a pretty interesting concept, I'll give you that. But I would have like to have seen a show about Rex and how he finds Wolf and Gregor and how he removed their inhibitor chips if they didn't remove them yet. And maybe he bumps into Ahsoka here and there. Maybe like having Ahsoka be making like 2 cameos. And I don't know, it's just. And I'm saying Ahsoka because that would kind of make sense because the last time we saw Ahsoka was with Rex. So it would make sense in the Rex show if we saw Ahsoka at least twice. But this isn't going to be a Rex show. But even then, with a Bad Batch, since they're like supposedly deformed from the other clones, does that mean that their inhibitor chips worked? And so, what would they like? How are they gonna go out? Do they see Ahsoka, and that's how they go out? Is they fire at Ahsoka, and even though Ahsoka isn't trying to kill them, she deflects the bullets out defense. So really, it's not really like murder. It's more like her self-defending herself. I mean, I'm gonna give this show a shot, like I gave Rebels a shot, and Resistance a shot. I enjoyed Rebels. The Clone Wars I loved. Rebels I enjoyed. Resistance was like, like, you call this Star Wars? Like, what the hell is this? That was like my take on Resistance. If you enjoy Resistance, then yeah, I'm not going to judge you harshly for that, because if you like Resistance, while I didn't, it's not my place to judge you. But yeah, Resistance was into me. I couldn't really get into it. Even though I do have issues with the sequel trilogy, I enjoy the sequel trilogy more than I have with Resistance. But yeah, I'm kind of skeptical about this. Like, on one hand, I'm excited about there being a Bad Batch series, and then on the other hand, I'm like, is this going to be like another Resistance type show, or is this going to be better? I've heard it's going to be produced by Dave Filoni, but if I remember correctly, that's what I heard with Resistance at first. And like, I think like it was like a month or two before Resistance came out, Dave Filoni said, "Oh no, I'm not related to this project." So I am excited, but I'm kind of cautious at the same time. I'm cautiously excited. I'm going, like I said, I'm going to give it a shot. I've seen all of Clone Wars. I've seen all of Rebels. I enjoyed both of them. I've seen every episode of season 1 of Mandalorian. I enjoyed that series. And I know Dave Filoni directed some of the episodes. So I do have faith in his ability. If this is going to be led by Dave Filoni, like some episodes in Mandalorian was, and how Clone Wars and Rebels was directed by Dave Filoni. And don't get me wrong, I do prefer Clone Wars over Rebels, which is not me saying that Star Wars Rebels is a lousy show, because it is a good show. I enjoy the show. There are elements in that show I do enjoy, like Ahsoka. We get to see Ahsoka, and then Darth Vader and Ahsoka fighting. We get to see Obi-Wan in an episode of Clone Wars, and finally having the Darth Maul storyline laid to rest. uh, we get to see Lando and Leia, and there's some others good things I like about Rebels that if you guys want me to, I will make a video about that in as in a video in the future. But the one thing I always say that I feel like Rebels should have done is killed off Ahsoka in her duel against Vader. I would have been, even though Ahsoka is my favorite Star Wars Clone Wars character, I think Ahsoka should have been killed off in her duel with Vader, like it originally looked like when season 2 ended. But of course, they retconned her death in season 4, which I was like, at first I was excited because I was like, yeah, you get to see more Ahsoka, but seeing how Disney is doing things with their movies, I'm like, okay. And the thing is, with Ahsoka, I know I'm getting sidetracked on this thing. With Ahsoka, I just don't want. I know Dave Filoni has made Ahsoka, but every character has a purpose that they serve. And I think her purpose came to a full circle with the end, like the season 2 finale of the Clone Wars. Of Rebels. So bringing her back and using her in any shows moving forward, outside of potentially the Bad Batch, may be excessive. And depending if she's gonna have her own show and depending on where her show's timeline is going to take. Guys, I hope you hope for a Ahsoka television series. As long as it's in between the Clone Wars and Rebels. So in between Attack of the Clones and Rogue One. Or Revenge of the Sith and Rogue One, I'm sorry. But yeah, they're going to be mercenaries. The Bad Batch are going to be mercenaries. So that's going to be new. And it's going to be interesting to see how another set of clones adjust to the normal life, or the new normal, the imperial life, or whatever, the mercenary life. And how many of these clones survived? Because is Echo still around? Because he died in the Clone Wars only to get brought back in the last season of the Clone Wars. But he was like messed up and with frozen carbon freeze. And it was kind of like messed up in the mind for a second when we first saw him in season 7 of the Clone Wars. So do we see... So did that mess him up a bit? Did he like with this inhibitor chip? Was it fried when he had all those plugs in him? Yeah. Did he did the whole Order 66 thing kind of like inhibitor chip thing and malfunction, making him think that the Bad Batch were Jedi and he was gonna shoot the Bad Batch in sight, but in self-defense the Bad Batch slayed Echo? I don't know. That's like, I wanted... And if these clones, if this is set like shortly after the events of Revenge of the Sith, how, like, are we going to see cameos? Are we going to finally get a Disney canon answer for what happened to Commander Cody? Are we going to have a Darth Vader tease? Are we going to have an Ahsoka and Rex tease. I mean, there's like the special forces for the Clone Army, right? When the Clone Army was around, so their ability to keep secrets, I would think, would be higher than the other clone troopers in a sense. So, and the reason why I'm bringing that up is that did they go to Tatooine and so happen to bump into Obi-Wan? And are we going to see, like, while we're on the topic of Obi-Wan, because this kind of relates to him, are we going to see any Jedi in the Clone Wars, in this Bad Batch series, or Ahsoka? Which Ahsoka is not a Jedi, she's not a Sith. I count her as a Grey Jedi. Are we going to see her too? And if so, is the whole inhibitor chip thing going to influence them to shoot down those Jedi or Force sensitives that appears to be Jedi? Because, let's face it, Ahsoka serves more the light than the dark, so she would, in the clone trooper's eyes, as we saw in the season 7 of the Clone Wars, would be viewed as a Jedi, even though she's technically no longer a Jedi, and she even says that in Rebels. So, it's leaving me with a lot of questions. I mean, like I said, I'm still going to be skeptical about this. I'm not saying this is going to be a bad show. I'm just skeptical. I'm excited but skeptical at the same time, if that makes sense. And it's going to be in 2021, so I'm hoping I'll have Disney Plus even then, because I never thought I was going to be able to see the Clone Wars when it was new. When the Clone Wars season 7 was coming out, like when it was new each week. And so I would look forward to every Friday because Disney Plus where I could stream the Clone Wars. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. So I'm gonna give this a chance. I'm gonna give Bad Batch a chance. And again, I'm skeptical, but at the same time I'm excited and intrigued to see how these troopers are going to adapt into their new lives. Or is it even that much of an adjustment? I mean, of course, the only real adjustment is Jedi are practically public enemy number one in this era. So yeah, I'm just trying. Sorry if there was that awkward silence. I'm just trying to think of like all the possibilities in my head of how this could play out. But what do you guys think? Are you guys excited for Bad Batch series? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love y'all. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Love y'all. I appreciate you all. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next video or stream, whichever comes first. And I'll catch you guys later. Love y'all and have a wonderful day.